Welcome to the Real Estate Humor Meme Stream. I'm Bill Gross. We get together every Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. Hump Day to record a little bit of fun on real estate humor. It should be humorous and related to real estate. I'm a real estate broker in LA. This particular program is based on the Facebook group Real Estate Humor. Love to have you join. We have over 125,000 members in the group, and you can post your real estate humor there. Or if you're watching live, you want to put notes in, maybe I'll catch them during the call, or post your favorite meme and I'll put it on the call for next week's call. We do this every Wednesday morning. Now, as a real estate broker, I listen to comedy every day. It helps me keep my mindset up and fresh and pleasant in a challenging business. And real estate at times can be. I have customers who are under tremendous stress, and my job is to be the calm port in the storm. And so I use humor as a way to keep my attitude light, and hope you have some fun with us today. We do this for about 10 minutes or so. So without any more, let's get into this. And let me see here. Click. And I like this first one a lot. When you're 7 years into your career and someone asks you how many square feet an acre. Now, I'll tell you that I took a real estate class in 1986. And the instructor said, this is a question I guarantee will be a license exam. And it was. The answer is there's 4,300 and 560 square feet in an acre. 43560, reverse the 3 and 4, 5, 6, and then a 0 at the end. Why do I remember that? Because the teacher had us say it, 10, 20 times every single class. At least we got that one question right. Now, the face on Ben Affleck, is this because he doesn't know the answer or because he realizes how irrelevant the answer is? But I will say, I have used it a few times. You look at a property and it's 9,000 square foot lot, and off the top of your head, well, it's about a fifth of an acre, plus or minus. 8,000 square feet, about a quarter an acre, plus or minus. So those are numbers I've done in my head many times, and it is something that's important. But the face on him, he's finally asked. I think it's because he doesn't remember the number, but I think it's really important. Okay. So this is another example. You watch these fights. The other agent me after the deal closes. You're a great fighter. I'm sorry for everything. This can be the case. Many real estate agents get very emotional, get very victim-y. It becomes a very difficult process. I always feel like our job is to remove the emotions and be the buffer for our clients' emotions, allow my client to emote to me, and then help them make the best decision, and then pass it on without emotion, unless the emotion is a tool you want to use. And so I see these fighters do it. If you ever watch any kind of boxing or UFC, afterwards they always, many times show respect, and they should. So we as real estate agents could do the same. Okay, next one is a little bit of political. Hillary Clinton walking through the standard kitchen. I've walked through kitchens like that. I made that face too. So no comment politically. I just think it's priceless. Okay, different people have different ways of expressing themselves. Here is an interesting wash basin and water faucet set up. I imagine the water comes out of the cow's nose into the water. I mean, it is kind of a work of art, I guess, but wow, that is really kind of a crazy kind of design setup. Okay, and so here's one. When you're showing the house, versus when you're done showing the house. I'm not sure what the difference here is. I see the difference, but why one is different than the other. When you're showing, are you more dramatic maybe and less after showing? I'm not sure what the point of that meme was. So let me put that in and there you go. Okay, next. Buyer, there's a word smell in the house. I don't like it. Buyer, after hearing there's no other offers on the house. Weird smells. Now, weird smells can be weird. I've had weird smell turn out to be the odor after a body had been left in the property for 7 days. And you need like a hazmat guy to go in. Now, it cost about $6,000, but $6,000 was better than I think about the $40,000 discount the buyer got on the property because of the smell. So sometimes I'm not suggesting you should buy a house that smells bad. I'm saying you might want to buy a house that smells bad while you buy it, that smells proper when you're done. And so, but I love the faces and the concept. Okay, what people think realtors do and what we really do. Yeah, I don't know if people really think we sit around and do nothing all day. I do think aspiring realtors think other realtors sit around, do nothing all day, and shoot selfies. But my day is pretty much on the phone, meetings, phone calls, nonstop all day long. That's just kind of I'm active. I'm usually juggling 2 or 3 people at once, but that keeps it exciting and keeps it fresh. When you can finally stop using your customer service voice for the day. And scene, as if you're acting all day, you're pleasant, you're nice, you have a pleasant personality, and then at the end of the day, you can go back to being the person you were. No, I think the purpose of work is to make us better people. I hope that's not what we're doing, but and I think we've seen this. Okay, hold on. This is true. Normal people go to bed at night, and realtors, I have to reply to my client's DM. I reply to the title company. I have to see my clients in houses. I will say that I have a very detailed to-do list and a very detailed calendar. And at the end of the workday, I clear the to-do list and set up the next day's to-do list. I clear my calendar, make sure I review tomorrow. And that gives me the best chance of going to bed and not thinking about work at all. I do know many people, if you are one of those people in life who remembers things as your to-do list, man, real estate is going to be a tough nut to crack because it is just a lot of little details on a constant transaction. Okay, here's another one. So you talk to your buyer, and the buyer's all excited. Hey, I've been looking for a new car, and you're going to buy it after you close escrow, right? After closing, right? So this is, I think, a bad career move, and the pain of it. It's funny, but it's also, I think, a lesson learned. Their newer agents kind of look at buyers who are shopping as customers. They're really potential customers. And in this case, some people want to buy a house, other people instead want to buy a nice car. You can't do both unless you qualify for both. And so she's acting disappointed because that was her client. And I think that agents put too much stock into people who are thinking of buying a house and not enough stock into people who are actually buying or actually selling. Okay. This is an interesting note in a listing summary. The buyer is responsible for removing occupants after close at their expense. Now, actually, I think what they mean is that there's tenants living in the property. They can be tenants if they have a contract. If they have a contract and they're just squatter, we refer to them as occupants. Not to be offensive, or if we don't know the answer, we call them occupants. And so, yeah, they're people who buy houses. In fact, I have investors who specialize in buying houses when there's problem people in the house, and they'll get them out. They'll either legally get them out, or they'll send by the people who will help the occupant realize what their options are. And so, I think this sounds like you have to remove the occupants, meaning the owner of the house, but it's not. They're referring to like squatters and such. Okay, this is how I feel sometimes. You have a new listing and you get ready to list it, and then like your phone just blows up. Often, if you price a house to sell, if you price it at the market price or slightly below, which is I recommend, if I have a house that's going to sell for $705 or $710, I always recommend listing at $699. More people will see it. Your phone blows up, and your emails and texts blow up. There's buyers just lurking. In fact, there's some buyers who offer on every single property. They just offer at a low enough price where any property comes to the market they would buy as investors. And so nowadays I get about 2 or 3 offers from these kind of people. I don't think they're really offers, but they're whatever. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, this one is difficult. So when you finally close a deal with your worst client ever, and you realize you never have to talk to them again. I'll tell you, I've had a couple problem clients in the last year, and what I found was if I work and work and work and work, almost always before it's over, I'll win them over. That's the goal, because it's kind of like, I've never been divorced. I imagine it's like divorce for some of my friends. If you have kids, you're never really done with the people. And even people you close escrow with, paper comes back, they're not upset about it, they're going to call you, bad reviews. And so you don't want to ever look at like you're done talking to people. You have to, I think, if you're a professional, go into it with the idea that you're going to figure out some way to make that relationship work, and do the best that you can. Okay, so here's one. So an agent always asks, all you 6-figure agents, where are you getting your leads in 2024. Um, and then Batman swipes him and says, screw off. We all know you're a bot for a lead generation company. So what he's saying is, you'll see this in Facebook groups. People ask this question: where do you get leads from? Where do you get leads from? And there'll be answers, from the Zillow or this or that. And then they'll go, oh wow, have you tried this one? It's just a game they play as a way to get people. And this Facebook group is, I think, just fake trolling, not trolling, baiting for fish. And you think you have a conversation with somebody, and you find out that they're not. This one I love. When your friend who said they list with you actually follows through. Man, it's tough to get listings. Hard work, and I make a living out of getting them referred by strangers, referred by their attorneys. In many cases, attorneys I know referring them. But when a friend actually follows through, it just feels so rewarding, because you want to help people and you think you're good at what you do. Okay, so this is one. Listen, Linda, listen. I can't show you a house until you speak to a mortgage lender. Yeah, it's just the only reason to show a house before they speak to a mortgage lender is to meet them. Otherwise, you're wasting their time and your time. And buyers have a hard time understanding that. So many buyers feel so empowered with the internet. They assume they know they're qualified, which might be, but going from qualified to being able to write an offer they'll be accepted takes some people days, other people weeks. And so if you're serious about buying, then you really need to meet with the lender so that you're prepared. And also the lender should become your ally. In my experience, we get the lender on our team. They have to promise to call the listing agent on every offer we make and do their best to talk to them, tell them how good our buyer is and how they're ready to go, to try to stand out from the other lenders. So that is important. All fun aside. This is this classic. I passed my real estate exam. All I learned is how to stay out of jail. So true. So true. You haven't learned how to generate leads, haven't learned how to sell. You really haven't learned how to fill out the forms properly, to empower your clients. The whole thing is just, just hard. But it's a long way to go past getting your license. Here's a good one. Sell your home team. When you use us, crying on the shoulder of your mommy, and when you didn't use us, and then when you did use us, you caught the ball and you're happy and you're excited. So yeah, I think that there's a different. If you're good at what you do, there should be a different outcome when they don't use you. And my specialty in real estate is probate, and I see many times people have filed and they're continued, and I'll say to them, well, yeah, because your attorney is making these mistakes, and I've noticed that online your attorney hasn't done a probate in 3 years, so they don't really know the process. And let me help them with the process. And the same with all parts of real estate. That's why you pay for experts, because the experts get the job done. There's a difference between results and not getting results. This is a classic. If you're feeling lonely, just tell a room full of real estate agents you're thinking of listing your home. Yeah, it is interesting. Like on a Facebook group, you'll say, hey, I'm thinking of selling my house in whatever street, and then there'll be people all over. Or, I have a house in out of state. Do you know an agent there? And the people will just start putting down names of agents that they know, not knowing whether the agent is a listing agent, not knowing if the agent's any good. So definitely. But we all want to generate business, but that's just kind of the way it goes. Okay. Let's see here. Let me see the last one. Oh, yeah. I love when clients bring their entire families. Yeah, when you're looking for houses initially, somebody needs to be on the point so you can move quickly, get in and out, and move the process along. Certainly bring the whole family before you commit to a deal, maybe a second showing. But yeah, it is when the whole family shows up on the initial showings, you kind of know you're in for a long process. Okay, so here's one. Clients, do you believe our offer will be accepted? Me, I don't have any beliefs except for magic. I believe in magic. It's awesome. I've really come to a point where unless I know the listing agent, it's impossible to tell what's going on with deals. I had one recently where we went over the asking price by 3%, and it went for 10% over It was like we were at 1.2 and change, and it went for 1.3 and change. It was a big difference. In some cases, not. And so there you go. It's definitely challenging to know the market these days. Okay, that's today's edition of Real Estate Humor Meme Stream. And we do this every Wednesday, 8 a.m. This is part of the Facebook group, Real Estate Humor. Love to have you join. Love to have you post. Put your memes in. If you're watching this, put your memes in on the comments or your comments on this. In general, love to help you participate in that. And if I don't speak to you, reach out to me at Bill Gross Probate on social media. And look forward to just talking to you soon. Make today your best day ever.